Have you guys been involved in any of the squad leader stuff?
So they've got here's another interesting one. So squad battles is John's as well, and that is squad leader equivalent. It never sold well. It was really interesting. It was positioned as the next big thing. I honestly, the approach that was used was, I don't know, maybe not the right way, and the graphics are fairly dated in a couple of other things. It's a fantastically detailed game system, but it needs to be reworked, a bit like we've done with the Civil War series. We need to pick it up and reprogram it. And we had a discussion around, should we do a squad leader like setup where you literally, instead of doing let's do the Spanish Civil War or the Eastern Front or whatever, should we go to more of a modular system like squad leader where we release all the tools, the map building tools and whatever, but in the first title you get the Germans and the Russians, say early war. That's what you get, that's what you buy. You get all the tools, you get some scenario set up, but it's a game construction set as well. And then in the next release, we'll release the Americans, or the Americans and the British, or the late war Germans, or whatever. So you give players the tools, which is what squad leader is all about, by the way, where you get the various nationalities, you get all the data, you get all the historical information that we can pull together. We'd release a certain number of scenarios, but we put out all the tools that player community could build it up. Now that's something I'd love to do, and we've been chatting about it. We aren't quite there yet, but if I was going to do a squad leader like approach, I'd take the squad battles engine that we've got and completely pull it apart and start again, pretty much. But again, we'd probably go for a top-down view, not so much 3D, but a top-down view, again like squad leader, and do it in modules. But unlike what we normally do, where we don't release map editors, we'd probably make that as part of the package to get that community involvement, because we think that's another bit that would make a big difference in that kind of system.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was always one of the appealing things with, like, Combat Mission, for example, was that ability for user-generated battles and whatnot. It certainly adds to the depth of the experience when you can just go out there and, get another 50 battles or get another 100 battles added to the game.
Exactly, and that's the idea.
Yeah, I completely agree. The squad battles is what kind of drove me. It was how I discovered John Tiller Games, and that would be really incredible if you guys go down that route. I can imagine so many possibilities with that. Like, you guys can focus on like battles like Black Hawk Down and such. With that engine, it would be incredible.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it was never a big seller, and they weren't quite certain why. They thought it was going to be the squad leader, equivalent. But I think the approach that was used, it just didn't quite work. And I think if we took something out of how squad leaders did work, we do a lot better by doing it in this modular approach. And as I said, to me, it's the community involvement that's the big thing here. If we can get the community involved, that's where you get a life to a game. And John's product's always been great for modders, but officially sanctioning, we want you guys to mod the game. We want you to put out your own content. What we'd probably lock is the OB side of it. So what we'd do is we'd say, you're getting all the early war Germans. Here's what you're buying. You're getting the 1939 to 1942 Germans. You're getting the 1939 to 1942 Russians. And that's the bit becomes the new modules that you get. And that, again, that's how Squad Leader was built up. You'd buy the module for the Brits, you buy the module for the Anzacs, you buy the modules for the Japanese. And we'd then release new terrain types, for example. They'd be the models that you'd end up with, but then we'd let the community go crazy with it and let them build their own situations with the tools that we're providing them. So we'll see. It's a discussion.